This is Unit 9. Last weekend, here we're going to continue learning about the past tense. This time, we're not going to be talking about the verb be in the past. We're going to be talking about the other verbs. So this time we're going to do something different. I'm going to jump right into the grammar. Okay, so let's take a look at this presentation right now. How we form the simple past statements, affirmative statements. It is formed by simply using the past form of the verb. For example, every night I stay home. That's it. Last night I stayed home. So you see how we form the past? I played a video game and I listened to a new CD. So that's what we do. Now on the left side you have the simple present, and on the right side you have the simple past. Every week my wife rents a movie, right? That's what we do in simple present every day, every week. But last night my wife rented a movie. So she rented a movie. Now every night Stephen chats online. Last night Stephen chatted online. So he chatted online. Again, on the left side you have the simple present, on the right side the simple past. Every week my friends and I cook dinner. So last night my friends and I cooked dinner. So we cooked dinner. Okay. Every night Peter and his wife watch a movie. Last night Peter and his wife watched a movie. So they watched a movie. Okay, so let me make a point here. As you can see, in the simple present, you add s to the verbs for he, she, or it. But in the simple past, what do you see? You simply use the past tense no matter the subject or the person, or the subject. If it is I, he, she, it, we, they, it doesn't matter. You use the verb in the simple past and that's it. That's how we form the simple past tense with regular verbs, okay? All right. Now that we have finished the presentation, I want you to take a look at, let's go back to the build vocabulary. So these are some vocabulary expressions that you may want to hear. If you look at if you turn to page 156, we're going to see last Saturday. Remember, last is past, right? Past Saturday. And here are some verbs. You have call, in the past, called, clean, cleaned, listened to, ordered, studied, visited, washed, watched, worked out. Okay? Now, I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play it. I'm going to pause it after each word and you repeat. Okay? Here we go.
Called,
cleaned,
listened to,
ordered,
studied,
visited,
washed,
watched,
worked out,
All right, after repeating, now let's take a look at exercise B. In exercise B, you're going to complete the sentences about Maria's weekend. Just look at the picture and complete the sentences with the verbs, okay? So let's do that. Pause the video, work, and I'll show you the answers. All right, here are the answers. Boom. Cleaned, washed, listened to, studied, called, worked out, visited, ordered, and watched. All right, with that said, let's continue working on vocabulary. This time, you're on page 157, exercise A. You're going to match the place and the activity. I went to the airport. So why did you go to the airport? To pick up my brother. And so I picked up my brother. All right. Continue with 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way until 10. Pause the video and then you'll see the answers. Okay. So here are the answers. Boom. All right. Okay. Now, in exercise B, this is going to be done in class, right? So what did you do last weekend? You're going to check the sentences for you that are true for you and then read the sentences to a partner. For example, what did you do last weekend? And then your partner says, I worked out at the gym. And then you check the ones that, for example, what you did. If I did this, and I did this. You say, I washed my clothes, I called my family, and I walked in the park. So do that, have it ready for when we are back in our live class. Just a note here, we have already seen the word pick up, right? And drop off. Here are some combinations of things that you can drop off or pick up. You can drop off somebody, you can drop off a person. For example, your child at school, you can say, hey, I dropped off my child at school. Or you go to the pharmacy and you drop off a prescription. Or you go to the dry cleaners and you drop off your dry cleaning, your clothes to be dry cleaned, or drop off a package. But these same things, you can pick them up. You can pick up somebody at the airport. You can pick up your children from school. You can pick up a prescription, you can pick up your dry cleaning, and you can pick up a package. All right, so these are very common expressions, so try to learn them. All right, so let's move on to page 158, simple past of regular verbs. You already know how the regular verbs are formed, so it may be easier for you to understand. Now let's listen to the story about Ali. He went downtown on Saturday morning. Where did he go first, second, third, and so on? So you write the number in the locations from 1 to 8 on the map, all right? So Ali did not go to 2 of the locations, all right? So 2 locations will be blank, will remain blank. All right, so let's listen.
I always go downtown on Saturday morning. It's the only day I have free all week. So, last Saturday, I walked downtown as usual. First, I went to the bank and deposited my paycheck. Then, I walked across the street to the shoe store. I tried on 2 pairs of sneakers, but I didn't see anything that I liked. Next, I stopped at the post office and mailed a letter to my brother. I waited in line for 10 minutes to buy stamps. Then I walked to the drugstore and picked up a prescription for my wife. Next door, at the camera store, I looked at some digital cameras. After that, I was a little hungry, so I stopped at the coffee shop and ordered some juice, a cup of coffee, and a donut. Then I walked over to the library. They have a lot of newspapers, and I looked at the Arabic language paper from my country. I borrowed a book about digital photography. Also, I applied for a library card. Finally, I stopped at the supermarket because I needed some fruit and a gallon of milk. That was my last stop, and I walked back home.
All right. So I hope you wrote the numbers and you will see the answers right now, the places where he went. Here they are. Okay. So now let's put the events in order. Number the sentences from 1 to 8. In the previous one, you numbered the places where he went. Now these are the events, what he did. Okay. So the first thing he did was he deposited his paycheck. And okay, so continue with putting them in the correct order. Pause the video and then we'll see the answers. All right, so here are the answers. Great. Now, okay, so you're gonna do exercise C. Describe Ali's morning. Use first, after that, then, next, and finally. For example, last Saturday, Ali walked downtown. First, he did this, then this, and then that, okay? So this is gonna be done in class. Let's turn to page 159. On page 159, we're going to complete each sentence with the simple past form of the verb. Now we are using the simple past that what we explained. So one verb is used twice. One verb is used twice. Now remember the spelling rules, okay? Ali walked, so you add ed, downtown. Continue until you finish it. Pause the video until you finish, and then I'll show you the answers. All right. Now, here are the answers. Okay, did you put stopped with 2 P's here? What else? Yeah, everything else is just add ed. Perfect. Oh, tried. Did you change Y for an I and then add ed? Okay. Now moving on. Here's pronunciation, the final ed. As you may have heard, the ed sound, the ed spelling is pronounced in 3 different ways. So it regularly sounds as d. Others sounds like t, and the other ones like the syllable id. I'll show you when. All right, so for example, play, mail, try, played, mail, they all have a, they sound as d when they change to, when you add ed. Why? Because the final sound in the base form, let me highlight it, it's a vowel sound, or the vocal cords vibrate, like play, try. So these are voiced sounds. In that case, when you add ed, that ed sounds like d. Now, if you have final sound like or yeah, mostly this, or like an F, so the sound is like t. For example, walked, stopped, looked. All right, if the final sound is d or t, this ed sounds like id. Now let's practice it. Let's practice it.
D, play, played, mail, mailed, try, tried.
Walk, walked. Stop, stopped. Look, looked.
Ed, need, needed, wait, waited, visit, visited.
Okay. So pause the video, repeat it again so you can practice the ed sound, all right? The ed ending. Okay, so I already gave you the tools on the website, on the school website. I have posted a list of regular verbs grouped by the way they sound, the ending sounds, like whether it's d, t, or id. Okay, so take a look at those. And okay, so that's the summary of that is the summary of the simple past regular verbs, that you add ed or d to the base form of the verb, and that's it. Now let's practice this. Get these ready for when we are live on Teams, right? You think about these questions. You're going to ask your partners these questions. Like, did you study? Where did you study? How long did you study? Did you visit anyone? Who did you visit? Did you call? Did you watch TV? What show did you watch? Did you listen to music? What kind of music did you listen to? Did you call anyone? Who did you call? Did you work? Which days did you work? How many hours did you work? Did you use a computer? What did you do? Did you email anyone? Did you help anyone? What did you do? Did you clean your house? What did you do? Did you cook dinner? Did you order any takeout food? What did you eat? Look at the pronunciation, takeout food. So do this one, pause the video, do this one on your own, answer these questions. So far, when we are back in our live class, we can work together. Now, study the spelling rules for the simple past in Appendix B. Then write the simple past form of each verb. All right, so here, pause the video, put the verbs in the past, regular verb. Okay, they're all regular verbs, and put them in the past tense. When you finish, play the video again and you'll see the answers. All right. And here are the answers. Okay. Okay, so on page 161, there is, okay, so here are some time expressions for the simple past. So here they are. You use last, and whatever comes after means it's in the past, right? Like last night, last Sunday, last weekend, last month, last year. This is 2023, for example. Last year is 2022. If we are in 2024, then last year is 2023. Okay, ago, you say 10 minutes ago. If it is 6:30 p.m., 10 minutes ago is 6:20, right? 1 hour ago, 3 weeks ago, a week ago, a year ago. Okay. Now you can use yesterday, and with yesterday you can use the 3 sessions of the day, morning, afternoon, and evening, and you don't need any preposition. You say yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening. And here's some, prepositional phrases. You can say in 2015, in March, on Monday, on July 20th. We said this before. When we use a month, you use in. When you use a year, you use in. When you use a specific day, you say on Monday. If you use a specific day like this one, July 20th, that's a very specific day, right? So it is on again. All right, so do exercise C. Complete it with these time expressions that are true for you. You can say, I watched TV, let's say last night, Saturday evening, yesterday morning, etc. So pause the video and complete these sentences. We're going to see these when we are back in life. All right, moving on. We're going to listen, and then you're going to complete the sentences based on the listening, okay? So get ready. Here we go.
1.
How was your weekend?
We visited some friends from our country. We talked for hours.
2.
Did you have a good weekend?
One of the drivers at work was sick. I worked all day Saturday and Sunday. 3.
What did you do this weekend?
It was my dad's birthday. The whole family celebrated at my parents' house. There were about 30 people.
4. Did you have a nice weekend?
I was sick all weekend. I just stayed in bed.
5.
How was your weekend?
It rained all weekend. I watched TV and played games on the computer.
6.
Did you work on Saturday night?
No, I just relaxed. I stayed home, ordered a pizza, and watched TV.
Okay, so pause the video, play it again if you need to, and then we'll see the answers right after the pause. Okay, ready. Here are the answers. All right. Now, in exercise E, you're going to answer the questions here. The question, what did you do last weekend? Just think about the things that you did and then write at least 3 sentences. At least 3 sentences, okay? And we're going to see this when we are live in class. Okay. All right, so here's another grammar point. Basically, not much. In English, in the past, we have regular and irregular verbs. The regular verbs are the ones we just learned, the ones ending in ed, right? Now, we also have irregular verbs, meaning that the base form is different to the past form. For example, break, broke. There's no regularity. There's no regular pattern, right? So you have to do is learn it. You have to learn it. There's no other way. So here's a list of irregular verbs that you need to learn, okay? please look up the meaning of the words in the dictionary. I think it is important. For example, have, we already know have. The past is had. Go, we know it, is went. Get, got. Forget, forgot. You see? Drive, drove. Drink, drank. Do, the past is did. Come, came. You see, there are some verbs that you already know their meaning. Now you need to learn the past tense. If you don't know the meaning, just look up the meanings of the words in the dictionary. All right, so moving on. Now let's complete each sentence with the verb from the list in exercise A. Use the simple past. For some sentences, more than one answer is possible, okay? For example, he, a cup of coffee. You can say he drank a cup of coffee. You can say he bought a cup of coffee. He, I don't know, he paid. No, he doesn't pay a cup of coffee. He paid for a cup of coffee. He bought a cup of coffee, you know. So more than one answer is possible. So work it out. When you finish, I'll show you the answers. And we can also see that, you know, if you have any other possible answer, then we'll check in class, okay? Pause the video and work. Now, we're back. Here are some possible answers. Here. Okay, if you put something else, don't change it, just write this one, add this one to the list, okay? So, and then we'll see, we'll check when we are in class. Okie dokie. Now, let's answer these questions with your partner. This is to be checked in class, all right? So what time did you get up today? How did you feel when you got up? What did you eat for breakfast? What did you drink with your breakfast? What time did you leave your house? How did you get to school? What did you bring to school? What did you forget? What time did this class begin? Who did you speak to before class? How much did you pay for your book? What did you read yesterday? Where did you go last night? How many hours did you sleep last night? So, prepare the answers to these questions, and when we are live in class, we can go over them, okay? All right. Okay. So from here, from page 164, we are going to work on exercise F. So you're going to complete these expressions. So let's talk about the activities you did at each location. Let's pretend that you went there this weekend, right? What did you do at these locations? At the bank, for example, what did you do? Okay, first I deposited $100. Then I applied for a loan. I also opened a bank account and I used the ATM. So these are things that you did at the bank. Now, what did you do at the post office? What did you do at the park? What did you do at the library? Okay, last month. So use your imagination if you didn't do anything, okay? Pause the video and then we'll check when we are back in our live class. All right, so I think that's gonna be it for this class. There's a lot of content to cover. And we'll see you in class, all right? So until next time,